Hello friends, welcome to our channel. What if I told you there's a way to lighten that load, a way to unload these burdens and experience a sense of relief and freedom? That's right, we're talking about bringing these burdens to Jesus. Now this may sound a bit abstract, and that's okay. You know, the heavy stuff that we carry around, sometimes without even realizing it. These burdens come in all shapes and sizes: worries, guilt, regrets, or perhaps unfulfilled dreams. They weigh us down and can make life feel like an uphill battle. So if you're feeling weighed down, this video might just be what you need. Stick around. Life as we know it can sometimes feel like a heavy load, right? It's like we're all carrying around massive backpacks filled with worries, regrets, fears, and expectations. These burdens can be emotional, perhaps stemming from a strained relationship, a broken heart, or the loss of a loved one. They can be physical, like the weariness of an illness, or the strain of financial instability. Or maybe they're spiritual, a deep-seated guilt, or an unfulfilled longing for purpose and meaning. Whatever form they take, these burdens weigh us down, making every step we take feel like a struggle. They rob us of our peace and joy, leaving us feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. But what if I told you there's a way to lighten this load? A way to find relief from these heavy burdens we carry? In Psalm 55, verse 22, we find a powerful promise. Cast your burden on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. This scripture encourages us to give our burdens to the Lord, to trust Him with our worries and troubles. It's not about denying our problems or pretending they don't exist. Rather, it's about acknowledging them, understanding their weight, and then choosing to give them to a power greater than ourselves. So what does that look like? It might be in the form of a prayer, a quiet moment of surrender. It might be through seeking guidance from the Word or from a spiritual mentor. It might simply be a daily reminder to ourselves that we don't have to carry our burdens alone. We can give them to the Lord, and in doing so, find a peace and a strength that far surpasses our own. Imagine that. A life without the overwhelming weight of our troubles. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Let's remember that our burdens don't define us, and that there is a divine strength ready to support us in our times of need. But how does one go about giving their burdens to Jesus? What does that even mean? Well, let's delve into the scripture from Isaiah 58:6 to get some answers. This verse from Isaiah is a powerful one. It speaks about breaking the chains of injustice and setting the oppressed free. It's a call to action and a promise of relief. But what could this possibly have to do with our burdens? Think of it this way. Our burdens, whether they're emotional, spiritual, or even physical, can often feel like chains. They hold us back, keep us from moving forward, and make us feel oppressed. We carry these burdens around with us, and they weigh us down, making every step we take harder than the one before. But Isaiah 58:6 offers a different perspective. It suggests that giving our burdens to Jesus is akin to breaking these chains of oppression. When we give our burdens to Jesus, we are essentially asking Him to break the chains that hold us down. We're asking Him to free us from the things that oppress us. This doesn't mean that our problems will magically disappear. No, it means that we're no longer carrying these burdens alone. We're no longer trying to break these chains by ourselves. We're allowing Jesus to carry the weight, to break the chains and to set us free. So, when we talk about giving our burdens to Jesus, we're really talking about seeking relief and freedom. It's about acknowledging that we can't do it all by ourselves, that we need help, and that we believe Jesus can provide that help. And most importantly, it's about trust. It's about trusting Jesus enough to let Him carry our burdens, to let Him break our chains. It's about believing that He can and will set us free. So, it's not just about letting go. It's about finding freedom. Freedom from the things that weigh us down. Now this might seem like a tall order. You might be thinking, I've tried to let go, but it's not that easy. And you're right. It's not always easy. Letting go of our burdens, our worries, our fears can feel like trying to drop a weight that's been superglued to our hands. But let's take a moment and consider the words from the book of Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 to 30. Here Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Consider this not as a command, but as an invitation from Jesus himself to all those who are carrying heavy burdens. He's inviting us to lay down our worries and fears at his feet, and in return, he promises to give us rest. Now I want you to imagine that. Picture yourself standing before Jesus, your shoulders hunched, your back bent under the weight of your burdens, and then you let go. You drop the weight, and it falls away, leaving your shoulders light, your back straight. You're no longer carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. Instead, you've given it to Jesus. This is what Jesus is offering us: rest, relief, a chance to breathe easy, without the weight of our worries dragging us down. And all we need to do is accept his invitation, to come to him, to learn from him, to take on his yoke, which is light and easy. It's a beautiful exchange, isn't it? Our heavy burdens for his light yoke, our weariness for his rest. It's an open invitation, a call to rest, and who doesn't need a bit of that? But there's a catch, as there often is, and it's not a bad one, mind you. This catch is something that can often be overlooked, yet it's a critical part of the process. A simple word, but one that holds immense power: humility. In the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 verses 6 and 7, we find a powerful invitation. It says, "Humble yourselves therefore under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you." Humility, it seems, is the key to unlocking the door to a burden-free life. But what does it mean to be humble? Well, it's not about self-deprecation or thinking less of yourself. No, humility is about recognizing our own limits, acknowledging that we're not self-sufficient beings. It's about understanding that we're part of a bigger picture, and that the universe doesn't revolve around us. When we humble ourselves, we admit that we need help. We acknowledge that our burdens are too heavy for us to carry alone. But there's good news. We're not expected to carry these burdens alone. It requires us to let go of our pride, to admit our weakness, and to trust in his strength. It's a call to surrender control, to stop trying to do everything on our own and to let him take over. Humility allows us to step out of the driver's seat and let Jesus take the wheel. It's about knowing when to ask for help. The call to humility is a call to freedom, a call to live a life free from the heavy burdens that weigh us down. And isn't that a life worth pursuing? So, are your burdens heavy? Why not come to Jesus today? We've journeyed through the weight of life's burdens and discovered the promise of relief. We've heard the invitation to rest and the call to humility. Consider, for a moment, the freedom that comes from surrendering them to Jesus. It's an invitation to a life of lighter loads and easier paths. And remember, you're not alone in this. If you found this video helpful, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. God bless you. May your burdens be light